And I gotta point out, this is impressive. We're almost 13 minutes into the game, and all 64 players are still up. All 16 teams are still alive. That is the first time we've seen it so far in the grand finals. And now, guys, take that with a grain of salt, because a circle like this is going to get chaotic, and you're going to blink, and half of them are going to be gone. And again, I love that United have kind of been doing this play where they'll send most people ahead, charge to action, leave Flood behind to kind of clear up what's left as they continue to close out the zone. We know they typically like playing the east and northern edge, so to see them now on the western side with the way that the circle ended up, this has been a little bit of a tough go with the way the circles have gone, but you can see right now they've managed to get 2 kills off of it and found themselves a nice little edge of the high ground on this zone.
Luminosity have this nice position on this southeastern side that they kind of cause problems, and there you go. Baki actually going to get a knock on a kickstart, so United had that high ground. Maybe forgot a little bit about AS Guri as the new circle does pop, and everybody is going to have to leave El Azhar. Oh boy, Clover, this is about to get violent.
And it's the worst thing that I feared, because so much of the crop fields are into play. There's no cover out there. There's a couple of hay bales and not much else. And that it means that when you really look at what's available, what's to play, you've got the compound that 22's in, the compound that TX is in, a couple of dips, and that's about it. But Baki right now bringing the pain onto the members of United. He does trade damage down to 31 HP, but it's going to be Rello that finds the knock. As you see, Snakers going wide, spotting out Fakes in, trying to see if they can get the secure and final member down for EOS Guri. Unfortunately, Fakesin's got nowhere to go here. Down to 1 HP, popping that last first aid kit. Look at this peek from range. Selfish is going to find that kill.
There you go. This kill feed's going to be lighting up like a Christmas tree as everybody's trying to make their way out of El Azhar. Synergy, the first one's out. They managed to avoid a little bit of the fight there, but Fiumba, as you can see, in a perfect position as they are just lighting them up from that dip line. The grenades are starting to come out. One's going to land, 2 knocked, 1 down. Pippa, Silzen trying to survive here, but Capitan going to find him. And now all of a sudden, Pippa, all he's got is grenades. It's his last one. Can he find anything else off of this? We'll spray through the smoke, see if he can find anything. Maybe get a reset here, but
United,
there's no resetting.
No, in fact, that was those cars coming down the hill. That was United coming down, trying to get their spot into the zone, and Pippa down to 3 HP. Doesn't have much coverage now, is on his backside. As you can see, his kickstart, Snakers and crew does get that first aid kit pops. But you can see, I mean, Poro, you talked about lighting up like a Christmas tree. Al Zahar in absolute chaos now as everybody's starting to creep up. And again, that high ground LG looking to take advantage of Kurt landing damage into Necro as Troglodytes continue to try and clean up the knocks that they've mounted onto both 4 PM and Rumblers.
And Luminosity in a beautiful position to oversee all of this here as they have that high ground. They're just taking shots down in. Looks like Dodge will clean up Tokyo Manji Gang on the western side. They'll still try to find their way out, but they're going to get spotted by United Synergy. It looks like Peak actually just completely wiped Fiumba just instantly. I don't know what happened there. I was going to say, I mean, there's a couple of teams that were in really good positions to maybe get some points off of this game that desperately needed it, Fiumba being one, but they go down instantly as Rumblers starting to make their way through Troglodytes. 4 PM looking to strike at the perfect time.
Pulsa still stuck inside the town along with Necro. Kill demo is going to continue to bleed out. They're just not in a situation to get that res. And as Posa gets quickly eliminated by Valiant, you can see Rabini, 4 PM, still struggling to get across the street. Really don't have much options here. In fact, look off in the distance. Finna for Dodge is still up and outside of the zone, and one of their best rotations. It's either come this way or rotate around into Peak and United, and I know which one I would unfortunately take if I had my choices for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough decision all the way around for all these guys. Oh no, Valiate, just the tip of that molly, and he's going to go down. So Rumblers are out. 4 PM should be able to reset, get all 4 up, but the struggle is not over just yet. As you can see, Penta, the rest of Luminosity kind of peeking down in there. Now that the circle is kind of calmed down a little bit, now the El Azhar is out, starting to look towards the north to see who has the most to benefit off of this. 22 in a great compound, have all 4 players up. They could stand to jump quite a bit here if they can find a way to pull out a victory, but it's going to be tough.
Oh, and right there, Rabini getting that knock on to Penta. That's going to be big in terms of giving 4 PM a couple extra seconds to try and get themselves into safely. Luke 12's going to have to focus on getting that res. Kurt and Alo don't seem like they're far too interested. Again, they're not in the zone in this position, and making that call into Phase X, as you pointed out, the way that 22's got that spot into zone, their shift now needs to be looking ahead, finding that late game. And now Ethan and Finna, they're going to finish cleaning that up as Viz tried to run up the hill, just had nowhere to go. But
no.
Rabini again, he's landing these nasty hits.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Dodge. They do get the knock, and now LG actually going to turn their attention back over towards 4 PM. But Maridao will find Alo as the fight, the three-way fight just going on. And actually 22 starting to creep out here to see if maybe they can pick something up off of it. But LG starting to go down, suffer a little bit more losses off of this than I think they were hoping to.
There you go.
Oh no!
They just stole it all
Vinny,
away.
the God nade!
Oh, that reposition, we saw all those members going down from LG. Vinny from 22 pushed up to the backside, the members who hadn't quite gotten a zone, and absolutely capitalized with all of those downs, got that final clean out from members of LG, but just elsewhere on the circle, Sonics and 22. This fight finally coming to a head as the H1 does get flushed out. Shrimzy and Mime, the last one's still up, and being very careful on their peaks. As you can see, at 22 have just been absolutely locking them in.
Man, I mean, they had the compound. They just kind of sat down and waited. And boy, they picked the perfect time to start flexing out here. Vinny is going to spot out United here as he saw Snakers get that final kill on 4 PM with the drive-by. Never one to not do things with class and flash. It's Snakers. As you can see, the possibility, how well these teams perform percentage-wise once they make it to the final circle. United very, very clutch here. But Vinny all by himself on this south side. The rest of his team trying to deal with Sonics on the north. As we see Gizera starting to creep forward, but they know that they are in a beautiful position to get a win here. And those points, they desperately, desperately need, Clover.
Yeah, in fact, we saw Haven and Hazelton kind of creep towards the center of the zone right before it shifted, just to make sure that they had line of sight in case other teams starting to move. Circle scenario up right on top of them. And that means that United are going to have to continue wrapping around, this time in the direction of Vinny. It was just waiting for them to crest the hill. Snakers and Kickstart, though. New spot Vinny, and that could be big in terms of letting them get inside the zone. They spot a second one. It is Gizeta. They get him down to half. Remember, Gizeta has that arm.
He's got the arm, but you don't want to peek unless you're sure you're not going to get shot back. But United, look at this. I mean, I think they looked down there. They saw 22 able to get back into the compound. They realized, you know what, let's not mess around with this. Let's start trying to wrap back over to the west. This is going to be too hard to dig out. So immediately back on foot, wrapping back towards the west. Sonics still have Mime, Shrimzy up. They've got eyes down on to Team X. Dielet and Clausera. Clausera a little bit separated, though, from the compound. He's having to work with the hills right now. So Mime and Shrimzy, they have time to just kind of wait this one out while United does a little bit of looting, gets their vehicles back.
Yeah, Kickstart taking a hefty amount of damage just to grab that buggy in the zone, and you can see as well a little bit of Snakers, looting up some of the bodies to make sure that they've got the utility coming into the late game, waiting for that circle to move. Like, I'm sit here on the edge of zone while they wait for everybody else to do a bit of damage. The problem is right now, I think TX don't really have to make any moves. Nobody else has to make any moves. They are going to reposition, find themselves here on the ridge line. Gizeta, though, still has that line of sight, does find the knock on Torello. Snakers gets down to 1 HP, immediately popping up that first aid kit and try and stay alive. And again, that coming into play. If he could get Kickstart here, he is going to find Snakers. All it takes is one more, and United could be very quickly melted. But look at this,
Good
TX
push.
wrapping around to see if they can capitalize on this. But Haven getting flashed, that's going to slow things down.
I was a little bit nervous there that they were going for the flushes and maybe lost track of Kickstart. Kickstart, we've seen what he can do in a one-man situation, but really, really well played there by Gizera. Big time shots that he needed to hit, and they are able to clean up United as 22 now wrapping back up towards the north, down to 3. They know where Sonics is, they know where Team X is, and they have the center of the circle. They've got the ridge lines, they've got the high ground, they've got the ability to move around wherever they want.
And two, I mean, the factor coming into this late game, we're worried when they're down to 2 with so many teams up and the man advantage. Now with the way that United not only kind of got things back down in their favor, but 22 having this fight with 3, TX having a 2. This is really equal between most of these teams. But again, it's that advantage that 22 has right now is they've got positioning inside the zone, and that once again, Gizeta finding that headshot onto Shrimzy.
He's hitting the shots he needs to hit right now. Gizera with the deadly.
Mime's got
as
no
Mime has
armor.
been spotted out. Gizera going to do it again. Oh, just misses it. Okay, there you go. He's going to get another one. Why not? 433 damage for the kid so far as Cloudera does get spotted out on that rooftop, and now it's just clinical for 22 at this point. It looks like Dialette has managed to get a little bit closer though, and now it's just down to Cloudera. Can he find a way to get involved and distract 22 in time for Dialette to actually get up there and maybe get some knocks?
I mean, there you go. The issue, right, is Gizeta. He's got a perfectly healthy level 3 helmet, although that vest is quite damaged. He can just be really careful with the ridgeline to make sure he's not taking any shots to the chest and below. But the other issue, obviously, for Team X is that they have to come to the zone. 22 have to do absolutely no movement. Dialette is going to get Gizeta down a little bit, 22 damage, but the boosters continue to lift him back up. Nice nade by Haven, finds the knock, and now that it's a 3v1, 22 rushing in, seeing if they can find Cloud. But Cloud went wide. I think Hazelton might have an idea as the flashbangs come out, the smokes come out. It has been called. Hazelton does go down. Now Haven and Gizeta on the hunt. Can they find Clouds? There you go. Gizeta spots him. Haven gets the kill, and that is it. 22 Esports taking victory in match number 2 with 10 kills.
And a nice little stack of kills going into the pocket of Gizera, which is good news for all his fantasy owners, me being one of them. But what a great game from 22 Esports there. We talked about it a little bit earlier. This is a team that desperately needed a game like this. They needed to get those points as they are in a heated chase. They were holding on to the PGC spot for Latin America coming into this, but it's been a little bit of a slow start. Maybe this will be what they needed to get things going back in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, the way that the Troglodyte